Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of Comic Book Nerds Are Hot Podcast. This is one of your hosts, Dr. Peter, along with my other co-host, my good friend, Oz.
Yo.
Today we have a couple special guests. We have two internet superstars from the popular Season Xero web series. We have Jason and Ryan Gas-Powered Stick.
Gas-powered?
How the fuck did you know?
How did you know that he took a dump 20 minutes ago?
I know.
First thing I did, I'm like, I'm going to drink a coffee, have some nachos, take a shit, and do a podcast today.
Oh my god.
That was a Famous Warriors reference.
All right.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I thought that was some Madame Cleo shit.
We're actually not a sensation, oddly enough. I think I got some.
Well, can you just explain what your show is for people who haven't watched it?
The show, right?
Yeah, the last time we did an interview, we didn't barely talk about the show. We talked about how many times we got hurt doing our first show.
Yeah.
But all right, the Season Xero basically is Jason and I have really fucked up imaginations and no attention span. So instead of making long episodes, we like making skits.
Yeah.
Just finish the idea and move on. But we like doing it we like doing a lot of it, because we love comic books, we love movies, we love cartoons. Anything that you could possibly be geeky about, with the exception of Double Dragon and LARPing, we pretty much do.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, we've LARPed. We weren't invited.
You ran into a field of LARPers screaming and got one mad at you.
And he chased me away.
And he chased you, and he threw his axe at Jason's head, like this fucking stupid plastic axe. And then Jason picked it up and said, "It's mine," and then took off running.
And I was dressed up as Quicksilver. So the guy was an idiot.
So Jason was running over the horizon, wielding this plastic battle axe with this hairy Jack Sparrow-looking motherfucker chasing him. And then I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm dressed as a Power Ranger, and I'm like, okay. And then I go around, and Jason walks up kind of like, kind of strutting. And he's just like, yeah. And I'm like, well, what happened? He's like, oh, well, I let him chase me for a bit. I taunted him. And then after he passed out, I threw his axe in the garbage.
And also, you guys met George Perez in his long lineup.
Yeah. Actually, the first, when we went to Comic-Con, we got there early, and George Perez saw me walking by, and he's like, hey, you're my first cosplay. So, he's like, I want a picture. I'm like, okay, Mr. George Perez, I was watching a special feature with you in it yesterday. and he takes a picture, and then on the second day, at the end of the day, he's about to leave, and I'm like, oh, hey, remember me yesterday? I was wearing that green outfit. Take a picture. He's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, say something about, we're doing this for Comic-Con stuff. Say say how you're doing. And he's just like, okay, well, I've been signing autographs for 7 hours. And I haven't gone to the bathroom, so I gotta go, literally. And I'm just
that guy pees a lot.
Those talented fingers that have drawn many amazing things are about to
hold on to his dork.
Yeah.
I totally just bought a Captain America shield.
Yeah, like right before we did this, you went and bought the metal one.
Yeah, the metal one, and it's really funny because how windy it was. The box is like flaring in my hand. I'm like, no, I gotta hold on to the shield.
And Jason's main source about buying this thing is that for Christmas at a secondhand place, because otherwise I would have never been able to afford this. Like the Canadian price of it is like $120, but it's like Captain America Omnibus.
Omnibus, yeah.
Omnibus.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
It's Omnibus.
I call it Omnibus, so.
Okay. Where's that entire story of just him working with S.H.I.E.L.D. and Winter Soldier coming and fucking with his head right up to the point of death of Captain.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Civil War. Yeah.
And I was just reading I read it was open, so I read the first 20 pages on the bus ride back to my house. This was like Christmas Eve, and I just been like, fuck, this sucks. This book is amazing, but I gotta give it to this fucker tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're gonna finish this book in time.
Yeah. And then Ryan got like a Wii U game from me to Arkham City.
Yeah.
The Armored Edition. Holy crap.
Yeah, I know, right? Holy shit.
That whole the whole thing of hacking into the security system while having to use your finger, I just love that motion plus shit to a certain extent. Like when we first came out, it was awful. Like you were just shoving that shit around like your cock, like drunk trying to write your name in the snow. Mm-hmm. There was no accuracy, but then they minimized it and they brought it back to the buttons, and it's like, okay, it's okay to shake it sometimes, This is like learning how to pee. It really is. It's like, all right, don't start off shaking.
Well, I remember we played like Wii Sports and we were doing the boxing game.
Yeah.
And we realized how out of shape we are.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, man, we don't even do this much effort jerking off.
Yeah, it's the only time
we're jerking each other off. It's even more.
It's the only time a 10-year-old ever beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Except when I was 10 or 14.
Right. He was huge.
Yeah.
No shame. I love it.
No shame.
So Oz, guys, Peter, you guys got to tell us something though. How the hell did this show start? What comic book nerds are out? What did you guys? What are your secret origins? I'm actually curious.
If you want to, I can read our group synopsis on Twitter.
We don't.
No, that's just way too long.
We never learned how to read.
Say it in a sentence.
Comic book nerds are hot was basically like when Facebook first started was my kind of self-indulgent blog about just shit I love, which was basically comic books, and kind of had like a special type of attitude that attracted more humans, and it's grown into this community of amazing humans right now. So I'm actually very thankful. It's something that gestated for a while, but yeah, that's basically it, dude. It's as simple as that. It's like
And
kind of a blog. It started
Peter?
off as a blog, like these are the comics that I like. I like comics. Do you like comics? And then people are like, I do like comics. I do. And then times that by like 6 years, a few thousand people, and here we are today.
Yep.
Jesus.
Well, how did your bromance with Peter start?
Dawson College, 2004.
Yeah, actually, Peter, can I fill this one on this one in too?
Go.
Okay. So at the time, I was a broke ass jabroni. And I needed some money really bad. So I figured, I'm like, what's the fucking one resource that I have that I could possibly make some money off of? I had a few comics on me. There was a few comics that I wasn't a huge fan of, but were mint and pretty popular at the time. So I figured, I need a bus pass, I need some money for prom, whatever reasons it is. I went around trying to sell them. I went at first to different comic book stores. And those motherfuckers were trying to offer me like 10 cents. I'm talking like Wolverine Origin, you know, that issue where he like crafts the claw for the first time. I had like Ultimates #1. I had all this shit, and these bastards wouldn't even give me cover price. They're like, well, you know, we can't really give you what they're worth. We'll give you 10 cents for the lot for each. So like, you know, that would have ended me up with $2. I was just like, fuck you guys. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hit up the Dawson College Comic Book Club. I went in there and I fucking sold like, what was it, like 5 books for like $90. I found like, yeah, dude, I found the true nerds, like people that would appreciate the shit that give it, it's not what it's worth, they give it what it's worth, they paid for it what it's worth to them.
It's love.
Yeah, and
True
as
love.
I was leaving, I see Peter is, I think you were like sitting on the floor reading a Hulk comic, and I just, by chance, I'm like, fan of the Hulk. Peter comes up to me like super serious. He's like, dude, I am the Hulk, man. Hulk is my life. I get so fucking angry sometimes. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? You're the nicest guy ever. He's like, no, man. And ever since, we stayed in contact, man. Peter's a good guy, and he never, you know, how sometimes you make friends with people and then they drop off the face of the earth?
Yeah.
Peter's not like that, man. Peter's, always checks up on me every once in a while, same with me, and, we've been good buddies, since that fateful day. What was it, like 2003, dude?
2004.
2004, fuck. It's like a close to
The
a
ultimate bromance.
Yeah?
Yeah,
We're about to fucking school you. I met Jason in 1992.
You guys playing fucking Pogs and trading Pokemon cards?
No,
No,
not
it's just
even.
Pog.
Ryan, you want this one?
It's been, basically, I went to elementary school called Westmont Park Elementary, and I'd be damned if there was like 3 white kids in my entire class. And, when I went to Vanguard Elementary, which was the second school I went to, the first thing I did, I saw the first black kid I saw, and I said, you're my best friend. Because I'm scared of white people.
Yeah.
Even though I look like the Jerry Maguire kid.
Of what? He's powder.
Yeah.
Simon Birch?
Pretty much.
Oh, no.
Simon Birch minus the spectacle.
I look like, like in Home Alone, like Fuller, the kid that wets the bed if he drinks too much Pepsi.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I looked like as a kid. Before
with curls.
Before my face exploded when puberty happened and my teeth were this way and that way and I had an afro for some reason. But anyway, let's rewind to 1992. Still a little bit of a cutie kid.
Yeah.
And cutie. Ugh.
You just said that word.
I can't believe I said.
Well, we'll just say rapeable. You were a rapeable, sexy little boy.
I was a very rapeable little kid. And when I went the next year, I was in a different class, and my buddy Marlon, who was my first friend at that school.
He's the black kid.
Yeah, him and Jason started hanging out, and naturally, as a mature young kid, I blamed Jason, and then
that I stole his friend.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, okay, Ryan, when I first met Ryan, it was because Marlon wanted to introduce me to his best friend. And I was just like, I thought we hit it off. I didn't know you had a best friend. And oddly enough, he shows me this little guy playing with his Power Rangers alone. Like, alone.
Because other people break them.
So I came up to one of
those dolls were made like shit.
And I was actually like a really nicely spoken kid. And I come up, I was like, oh, is that a Power Ranger? And I almost touched. He's like, fuck off! I'm like, whoa.
Hey, I didn't know those words when I was
a kid. Yes, you did.
No, it was more like,
you said, fuck off.
Screw you!
Yeah, so anyways, pretty much, Ryan would be at recess by himself, and then, Marlon, my friendship would start off really good, and then eventually we started having sleepovers.
Actually, what happened is Marlon was a lot more athletic than I was, and you guys had sports in common.
Yeah.
Even though you were 3 feet fucking tall.
I was the smallest one.
And now you're 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
But,
I grew.
Yeah.
No, but oddly enough, this is what happened was we had one sleepover, and it pretty much just joined us all together, and then we became this awesome tripod.
Yeah, we watched Predator.
Yeah.
And played some video games. And then later, this was awesome, when I was 22, and our friend Marlon moved away, he came back in town, and we randomly hung out with him, and you know what we did? We ran some video games, talked about comics, and watched Predator. It was awesome.
Yeah, and instead of having regular Coke, we had Appleton Coke.
Yeah.
And we still ate the Skittles and ketchup chips, as we always do.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, Jason, you have anything you'd like to mention about the show? Where people can...
Season 0, guys. Season 0. Watch that shit.
Season 0, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, on Twitter, it's Ryan Zero, at Twitter.
Someone's twat.
Yeah.
The twatter.
The thing is, it's the main thing is the YouTube page. So youtube.com/season0, and you can see a bunch of variety of different sketches. We also do interviews. We cover the Fantasia Film Fest.
We do music videos.
We cover the Comic-Con. We doing fucking interviews. And we like asking, when we interview people, we don't like necessarily
the casual
doing the usual 5 questions that the person's always fucking asked.
Yeah.
Were you guys at that Comic-Con that Stan Lee was at?
I don't think
No, I wasn't. It was a small location. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going to it. Holiday Con is much huger than an adventure.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. But anyway, when we went to this place, to watch Stan Lee, we're at his panel, and, we were back then before we were affiliated, we were just doing the videotaping. Guerrilla style. You're not really supposed to do that just because it, people, every time you pay for autographs or pictures or anything like that at Comic-Con does not make that money. It goes directly to the stars. So if it costs $85 to take a picture with William Shatner, go tell Kirk to go fuck himself, because that's who's choosing how much it costs.
Yeah, it's their price. Nothing actually goes to Comic-Con.
Yeah,
it actually goes to the actors.
The door does, but all the
extras,
all
the
extras,
security and all that, they're all doing it.
Yeah, all the security, it's all volunteers and shit like that. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. When at the Stan Lee panel, and this is just an example of how we never like doing interviews or asking questions a certain way. I went up and I'm like, I'm never gonna get a chance. There's a bunch of people ahead of me, and the guy's like, hey, you're not going to have time to ask. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to stand here anyway because it's a better seat than in the back. Sure enough, we're about to go up. There's 4 people ahead of me. They're like, we're really running out of time. You're not going to be able to ask a question. And I'm guessing he's used to people freaking the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, it's cool, man. See a little asshole in the back? That's my seat. And he's like, shit, okay. And then he, I get another tap on the shoulder, and I'm like, all right, I know it's cool. And then he's like, this little guy wants to ask a question, and it's this tiny little kid in a SpiderMan t-shirt. I'm like, What the fuck would Peter Parker do? Sure, go on, kid. Stand in front of me. But I still don't want to go in the back because my seat sucks. And sure enough, right before the little kid goes up, there's two people ahead, and they're like, okay, that's the last question. And all of a sudden, this fat dude in a Green Lantern shirt and no hair just freaks out. It's like, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. And they're like, and Stan's like, okay, let that guy ask a question. And he's like, what is your favorite character? Like, really? This is what you freaked out about, you fucking idiot? This is what I would have asked Stan the Man fucking Lee. I would have said, Stan, all the greatest Halloween costumes ever are all based on shit you created when you were probably on the John. What the fuck was there to dress up for Halloween when you were a kid?
Nice.
Before you changed the world. Bam!
Yeah, I'm guessing that guy in the Green Lantern t-shirt probably has never gotten laid.
No.
Well, the guy, he's wearing a Green Lantern shirt to a Stan Lee.
You know, I wonder if the Green Lantern ever uses his ring to beat himself off.
Probably.
That's kind of like strange.
Well, you get so much poo-tang, it's impossible.
Dude, that's like Stranger.
Well, no, but that's why they made the new Green Lantern gay.
Oh, yeah.
So he could forge his ring into like a dildo to fuck himself.
Wait, do you guys know about this stuff? Because I don't know.
Yeah, I know that, like, in Bleeding Cool, they mentioned there's going to be, like, a Justice League gay porno with, like, Green Lantern and Nightwing.
Okay.
Nice.
I think that's good. I don't know if that's, like, a whole movie.
Really, they picked the one Robin.
No,
that
but
has a dick in his name.
is it in a possible movie, or is it in the comic books now that Green Lantern is actually homosexual?
I don't know.
You can almost see that his dick was gonna grace him.
Okay. So, I have one more thing to comment before we move into what we're talking about. You guys did the German SpiderMan video.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the making of that video? And you have like a celebrity cameo in that video also?
Oh, yeah, well,
A lot of conditioner. There's a lot of shampoo and conditioner in that episode.
well, basically, when my dad's martial arts academy, Gamma, check out Gamma. My dad's in the fucking Canadian Black Belt Hall of Fame, and he's a really humble guy. Will never tell anyone about that, but I'm a shameless fucking son. Yeah.
You want to learn how to punch someone in the face right, go to Gamma.
Yeah. He's a quiet man who's a calm man that can ninja kick you in the fucking ass if he had to. But anyway,
Biggest of ninjas, though.
the origins of German Spider-Man were literally, we were moving gyms and we were selling an exercise bike, and this person was supposed to come get it. And Jason and I ended up waiting an hour and a half for the guy to show up. And during the time, we're like, wouldn't it be fucking funny if we took our Spider-Man mask and you wore your lederhosen?
Yeah.
And we spoke in really insultingly bad, like German accents without saying anything. And then Jason actually came up with a song.
Yeah.
With the Wunderbar.
Yeah. It was just pretty much the most, and mean, disrespectful song for Germans to listen to.
Yeah.
But,
well, whatever. Jay is German, so.
Yeah, so I showed my Oma it, and she fucking laughed her ass off.
Oh, there you go.
And she's like, Jason, is that Opa's Lena Hose? Yeah. And I'm like, yes, Oma.
But the whole idea of like, we're like, oh shit. Okay, so what do we do for web fluid? And we're like, and Jay's like, well, you can always like tape a big thing of conditioner you're on.
Yeah. And we went to the dollar store. And Dollarama, man, that really does help.
Yeah, and we bought the biggest bottle we possibly could find.
Two big bottles.
Two of them. And the thing is, I volunteered to get zapped in the face because I would feel bad zapping anyone else. I'm right. Like, I don't care if it gets in my eye or if I ruin my clothes. Yeah. But if someone else, I generally tend to feel bad. Mm-hmm. But the celebrity cameo is like, my girlfriend used to be in a YTV show called Radioactive, where she was like, not just a girl on it, she was like the lead girl or one of the two lead girls. And she does pretty much everything we ask her to do if it has nothing to do with animal cruelty, because she is a hardcore animal rights activist. And that's all good for us because nothing we ever do really involves,
maiming or killing an
animal. We'd rather maim or kill human.
Yeah. Well, actually, we've gone through enough accidents that
I would rather maim and kill Celine Dion than a bear.
Not Celine Dion, just her creepy-looking son.
Her son is like more artificial than like
her marriage.
Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to think of that.
Fuck Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect example is like we really want to do German Spider-Man again.
Yeah.
It's just that we're a little bit hesitant because who's next up at bat of being like in the episode, and pretty much J. Jonah Jameson came to mind.
Yeah.
But we're not going to make it J. Jonah Jameson. We're probably going to make it Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, J. Jonah kind of looks like Hitler.
So,
Yeah.
see, Peter gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Hitler's gonna get zapped in the face with like 10 liters of conditioner.
Yeah, so.
He needs the giant Cuban cigar in his mouth.
And oddly enough, I think we might put Rhino in it, but we're just going to use a
How
dildo.
the fuck would make Rhino? Seriously.
Because instead of a horn, because horns are hard to find.
Gimp outfit.
Dildo.
Oh, and speaking of, did you guys hear this bullshit about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 where Mark Webb wants to put what's his name from Lady in the Water and
Paul
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti.
Hey, Spider-Man, I'm Rhino. I'm big. I'm gonna hurt you.
I'm going to ram this up your ass.
I'm gonna ride. Yeah.
Stay a while and listen.
But who do you guys think should, like, if they ever made, I don't know.
They found a good Harry.
I think the character Rhino in a movie would be pretty fucking boring. He's a big idiot asshole fuck who's in a giant rhino suit.
He's probably gonna be the minor villain, It's probably gonna be like all about Jamie Foxx as Black Electro. Electro.
Yeah.
And like Rhino's probably gonna be the side story. Probably
It's a good
probably
idea.
gonna be one of his goons who gets mutated and like AIDS-filled radiation or something. I don't know.
They did it really well on Spectacular Spider-Man, though.
Is that the cartoon there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great
Is that the
cartoon.
one where he's got like a crew with Nova and Luke Cage?
No, that's Ultimate Spider-Man.
That is the worst
Okay.
Spider-Man show in the
No.
fucking fuck Ultimate Spider.
I haven't watched the proper Spider-Man show since the like Fox one. Like, remember the Fox with the Aunt May and
And
like,
the lasers.
yeah.
You know what? That's Joe Perry playing that.
Yeah.
It's who?
From Aerosmith. That's Joe Perry, the lead guitar player. He plays.
Right. Yeah, it was some band. That's true. Some like famous band that like did the intro. They like basically redid the like '60s show thing, but like hardcore.
They made it look cooler.
Still.
That Spider-Man show is interesting. You say that. It's I was reading up, like, when I'm fucking bored and there's nothing to do, and I know I got a 20-minute ride ahead of me, even though I know half the facts is bullshit, but enough of it, if I know the source material, I'm kind of reminded, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that could be true. They said in that series, because of the Fox censor, Spider-Man actually never lands a punch. He actually doesn't punch anybody. And I was like, that's fucking bullshit. Hey, wait a second. He did tie an awful lot of people up.
He did have a lot of
Like
fluid.
the tendency of just falling off buildings by themselves when things went awry.
One thing I have to say is that that Fox Spider-Man show did not age well. Like I tried to watch it again like 2 years back, and Peter Parker's voice was grating, man. His
Mary
voice.
Jane!
Yeah, it was just like he tried to scream and he always sounded like a bitch.
Yeah.
He always sounded like a bitch whenever he had to do the dramatic like, oh man. It's like, dude, taking his shit while like hitting puberty, or like, what are you doing here?
Well, if you guys want to see a real train wreck of a Spider-Man show,
70s.
there's this fucking Spider-Man show. After the famous one where he's like, swinging from airplanes because he's so high above the fucking city, it doesn't make any sense. But it's this show called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yes, with
He teams up
Oh yeah,
yes, we watched that show.
Starfire, and
80s
81.
with Firestar and Iceman.
Yes.
yeah. And his web's just pretty much like, I need an umbrella. Well, my webs are an umbrella.
Unless I forget the famous X-Men episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, it's true. Every goddamn time Wolverine was in an 80s cartoon, he had an Australian accent because
That's so
Americans have no idea what we sound like.
Yeah, so you guys saw Pride of the X-Men, right? That fucking...
Yep.
Yes, we saw that.
The animation was amazing.
And Storm looked like a...
I thought so too. It was like G.I. Joe, like, but sharpened up.
Very sharp, like cops. Like
Yeah.
they show cops.
And Storm looked fucking sexy. She was wearing, like, underwear and bras. Like, it was...
Like how she's supposed to, she's African. for
Yeah,
fuck's
she's
sake.
fucking...
Jungle theme, fuck.
I was just so viciously attracted to this cartoon, which happens a lot, actually. Yeah, so anyway.
Even the new animated X-Men.
Yeah, when that movie Cool World's kind of shitty, but I'm like, I totally get why you'd fuck that cartoon.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh man, if Cool World came out when I was a teenager, I would have totally beaten off to it.
In the cinema?
Lie. Hmm?
In the cinema? Like, you jerk it around?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, dude, come on.
It's coming out at 6 to midnight.
We haven't, when we started out the show, we kind of wanted to do some Conan O'Brien stuff where he had segments like, in the year 2000. But we tried to do this segment called I'd Fucker. And we had a theme song, and actually I'll email you the theme song and then you can play it right now. And that was our theme song.
Yeah.
And it's a segment where we just pick random topics. Like in our second episode, when we interviewed Tom Savini for a second and directors in this movie at Fantasia Club Theater Bazaar, we threw in the segment at the end. And basically, you pick a topic, and it could be a game, everybody. Anybody could play I'd Fuck Her. And there's really no winners or losers. You're just kind of losers if you talk about the subject a little too long.
Even ladies could play.
It's fucked up. Like hottest animated gingers, and it can't be still friends. When we pick like Jessica Rabbit, Ariel from The Little Mermaid, and Mary Jane.
Yeah.
But then we thought, fuck, man, April O'Neil from the Ninja Turtles, she's fucking sexy too. Like redheaded chicks in animation, I don't know what it is.
Man.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Rogue.
Jean Grey.
God damn, Rogue.
I'd fuck a lot of cartoons.
Well, oddly
I'd
enough,
fuck them. I would, but it would be good fucking.
Ryan was really going against me on this. I was like, Ariel from The Little Mermaid. He's like, she doesn't have a pussy. I'm like, I draw a pussy. I draw a pussy, fucker.
All I need is a good pencil.
You'll gouge out a pussy, man. Come on.
Yeah, there's a lot of hot
Man
chicks
up,
in
bro.
animation.
Man up.
Drop some eggs and then I jizz all over him. That's still sex.
You know what? You guys kind of like ruined my horny with that talk about China's giant snack. I can't.
Oh,
Dude,
you know what? Why did you just mention it? Because now I just remember the like jizz that was dripping off her face and smearing the like green cheap ass like Kool-Aid makeup.
Like, spritz in it like a flower. Like
Yes.
we need more juice.
Yes.
It's drying up.
You know, after the guy blew chunks in her face, I think she was gonna I thought she was almost gonna turn around and be like, "Is it my turn?"
Hey.
Which makes you really think it's like, man, X-Pac was one sick bastard.
Oh yeah, people don't know this, but Triple
he
H was
hit
actually
that?
a Quebecer.
What, with the X-Pac he boned China?
Yeah, why not in
Yeah,
China?
for a while, dude.
Oh, dude, how desperate. I mean, he made money and he was a celebrity. Why fucking the monster?
Yeah, but how desperate is China? She's in porn now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you have any idea how many people in the world I wish was doing porn now and aren't?
Yeah.
You kind of wish certain actors
They're putting their pussy on the pedestal now.
downhill.
It's kind of like, I don't know. It's in the 80s to get yourself in the business, you had to show your tits. Like Jamie Lee Curtis was a scream queen and stuff like not of Scream, but just that's what they call her because she's in so many horror movies. But in Trading Places, she whips them out and bam, she's like an A-list actor after that. But nowadays, it's like, you showed your tits. You must be desperate. Let's show some footage of you, sleeping in your bra, because that's very realistic in a horror movie these days. I don't know, that pisses me off. So many fucking remakes and shit. No one's doing it right either.
Okay, so let's jump into first a couple of topics on this episode. Let's talk about the Dark Knight Returns animated films Part 1 and 2. Okay, so I've only watched Part 1 of it. I really enjoyed Buckaroo Banzai as Batman.
You mean RoboCop?
Yeah, RoboCop. Yeah, he was the perfect voice for Batman, in my opinion. The idea of Bruce Timm convincing Warner Brothers to do this adaptation of the Frank Miller classic, it took him years to get Warner Brothers to have the green light for it, but I say he has followed the true path of being one of the greatest minds and has produced faithful adaptation to this graphic novel. There are some changes we'll talk about in it, but what happened?
Oh, no, just change is inevitable to a certain extent because, but also, if you're very familiar with the book and nothing surprises you, I guess there's being faithful to a book, but there's also it's a different medium, but
only pace too is very important.
I've seen so many cartoons and movies that have just took Rise of the Silver Surfer. The Coming of Galactus is one of the greatest sagas ever, and they didn't take a single thing from it,
Yeah.
But this was fun to watch because it's just shit, man, I'm really feeling Batman's age here. And that was the whole book. It was just he comes out, but the first half of The Dark Knight Returns, I don't know if you think this, but I always thought the first part of the book, the animation's different and it's a little bit more sleek and it's a bit more I got to do justice again. And then the second part of the book, and I'm fucking crazy. I'm old.
I think it's all about pace too. Cause when you're reading it in a comic, it's completely different.
Yeah, you read it when you want to, and you read it as fast as you want.
Because I think one of the greatest things about it is they put all the action and they condense it and they spread it out almost in the same way as the comic. Even though they are leaving out certain key characters, but also like it didn't take away from the speed of, it's 2 parts and they're each like 80 minutes. That's why I enjoyed it so much, because I was just like, dude, it has everything where it counts. It's kind of like Under the Red Hood. They completely got rid of like
Poison Ivy, Riddler.
Yeah, Poison Ivy, Freeze. They got rid of Freeze. And it just, did it hurt the comic book fans? Maybe a little, but you still got it where it counts.
Yeah, but you also have to like.
It's great to show people, because then they get curious and go like, that can't just be like a 50-page comic. There must be stuff missing out, and then they go and read it and they go like, oh shit.
Yeah, but
there's another mini story.
The Death of the Family is just such a fucking lame book. Besides those 10 pages where Robin actually dies, like Joker being like this. What is he?
Wait, what the fuck?
Oh.
Hang on. Did you say Death in the Family or Death of the Family?
Death of the Family.
No, the one that just went down.
No, Death in the Family.
The Jim Starlin stuff, right?
Okay, my tits.
The one from the 80s where Robin gets viciously beaten to death with a crowbar.
It's Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I was just saying, it's just like adaptation. Sometimes like what they did with Under the Red Hood is fantastic, because when you read A Death in the Family, you're just like, this is fucking lame. Besides the death of Jason Todd, like everything else that happens after that, you're like, why does Joker have the same diplomat community as the bad guy from Lethal Weapon 2?
Yeah, but like it's like in Egypt. Like why is the freaking Joker in Egypt? And why does he have a freaking weird, monocle fucking looking eyepiece like fucking the Monopoly guy?
Like
and also,
sorry, Peter.
Sorry, Ryan. Also, no Superboy Prime.
Yeah. Well, that would have been really difficult to explain in an hour and 20-minute DVD.
Yeah, he punched the walls of reality. It's like,
but they put it where.
Oh God.
I think DC has
the punching walls of reality.
I think DC has a real way. I think that's the whole.
I think it's
the
Warner
whole
Brothers,
New 52 thing. It's like, I think just in general, just DC has this way of fucking writing their way into this hole that they can't crawl out, and they're like, holy shit, we have like 9. The whole Infinite Crisis thing is just like, we have to get rid of some of these realities. Why does Shazam have a dog? Like,
I thought if Crisis on Infinite Earths was dope. The thing with DC though, their curse is they write everything way too grand, like starting with their characters. I mean, you have Marvel, okay? Marvel will have a guy, he'll get his powers or whatever, he'll have a skill set, but he will be human. If you notice with DC characters, when they have fucking superpowers, it's not just one, and they're all ridiculously godly. So writing themselves into a corner should be their fucking company motto, DC, we fuck ourselves constantly.
They reboot the fuck out of themselves all the time.
All the time, dude. Punching fucking the windows of reality for Jason Todd to fall out as debris.
Yeah.
That was full retard, dude. They went full retard.
I know, but I'm with like, Oz on this. It's just like, oh, someone dies in the DC universe. Oh, it's okay. They got the Lazarus Pit. He's not really dead.
That's another thing, you guys. Sorry to interrupt, dude, but the Lazarus Pit, originally Jason Todd came back because he fell through the cracks of reality when Superboy Prime punched it, right?
Yeah.
Then they realized how ridiculous it was, and they went with the Lazarus Pit. Am I getting all that straight?
Yeah, it was the Lazarus Pit.
Yeah.
Right.
In the DVD, because they're like, well, we can't explain this and not have everybody laughing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly, dude. You guys, I have a confession to make, eh?
Okay.
You guys are probably gonna think I'm a bitch. I've actually never read Dark Knight Rises. Or
what?
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, okay.
Dark Knight
I'm
Rises.
sorry. I know. That's why I've been a little bit quiet. I'm just like, I'm absorbing.
Well, I don't know, man. You don't really have to. Enjoy the DVDs,
Enjoy the DVDs. Appreciate the animation, because
actually, I think
the animation in Dark Knight Returns is like bad.
Oh, you mean the art?
Yeah, the art.
No, not the animation.
Well, but like I mean, in the movie, it's really great, and they get the jaw right and all that. But pretty much, there's a lot of times when you're reading the actual comic book, you lose yourself in it, kind of not in a good way.
Frank Miller.
Frank Miller does like all that overthinking and all that, and then you're just like, okay, what's going on now? Is he gonna punch someone in the face, or is he on a rooftop by himself?
Or maybe both at the same time.
Yeah. And it gets to that point, because I think he realized he got something to get people really into Batman because of year one, because like you'd read him walking down the street and you'd read like almost like a
Oh
novel.
man, those thought bubbles that are like Frank Miller's signature is just in Batman. It works so great just when you're like thinking how much he's calculating every move. He's like,
Yeah.
I take this down, I break his shoulder.
Yeah.
It'll take him 6 months to recover.
Yeah.
He's young, he'll live. Like that type of shit is just like, fuck yeah, Batman.
Yeah, and I have
Fuck Superman.
like you have to give Frank Miller his due because he knew.
I'm not going to give him his due.
No.
He
No.
did All-Star Batman and Robin.
Hey man, I like that book in theory, and I like it less each time I read it.
No, but I'll give him his due. But see, me personally, what gets me gripped to like Batman comic books is not Grant Morrison. It's Jeph Loeb. Jeph Loeb, when he does Batman, he does it hard.
Yeah, but
And
he's
How dare you utter that fucking name in my presence?
You don't
Say fucking Jeph Loeb. You might as well say give Bendis money right now.
Well,
You might as.
wait. Did you ever watch Commando?
Of course I have. I was born
Jeff
in the.
Loeb wrote that beautiful piece of art.
What?
Yes.
Jeph Loeb was involved in my childhood?
And Teen Wolf
He
also.
wrote it. He's an Academy Award-winning writer.
well, if it's in,
Oh, man.
if I'm gonna be diplomatic about this situation, everyone can suck my balls equally. I don't give a fuck.
Dude,
Yeah.
seriously though. He wrote Commando and he wrote fucking,
Wolf.
Teen Wolf?
Yep.
So what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened? He got paid for once.
No, I think this is the problem. I think when people are a name and they make money for way too long, the reasons why they were paid in the first place seems to go away. I mean, some people we know and love who've made shit for years and years and years. When
Yeah.
no one tells them, no. Green Day used to be my favorite band in the world, and I stopped liking them last week. You know what I mean? It was like consistent until I heard the new 3 albums, and I'm like, this is what you guys are doing now that you have millions of dollars in creative freedom? You make 3 albums and you collectively maybe have 4 or 5 songs that would make a boring E EP.
So Ryan, are you saying that security and cushioning of a steady paycheck makes people complacent?
Absolutely.
That's well said, Oz.
Hey,
Very good.
everybody's first album's a lot better than their third album or fourth album.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. We even mentioned this slightly when we were chatting the other day. It's like the first album. We used that first album to describe something. That's kind of funny. It's full circle.
Yeah.
May I just need to say something, and this is still concerns Jeph Loeb, and this is gonna be in all seriousness, like not joking. Like the thing with Jeph Loeb is I'm pretty sure y'all know about the tragedy that occurred with his son, right?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Oh,
I have.
Jeph Loeb, okay, he was hot with the comics and I guess the movies. This is new to me. He was one of those writers that was getting up there, okay, and his teenage son, was someone that looked up to him. His son looked up to him, but then his son got cancer and died.
Oh.
So obviously that can fuck anybody up. The guy gets all my condolences, and it's a awful tragedy to outlive your own child. Don't give the guy pity and keep giving him all these huge properties like fucking Hulk, and now they're giving him Nova, and everybody's mad. But we said this in the last podcast where there's shitty ass writers that are accompanied with brilliant artists. We call this phenomenon the chocolate covered turd, because it is pure shit, but it looks pretty. So the more mainstream fans, the people that show up to the comic store for the first time, yeah, they see Hulk with dye job, but the art is so well, that shit flies off the shelf. It's successful. But the old schooler will always be the voice that, it will always be accused as the, angry nerds that will never be happy with anything. Dude, we've been reading comics for a long motherfucking time. We know what works. We know what's gonna fizzle. We know what's shit. So, Jeph Loeb, I'm sorry that your son passed away. That's awful, but please don't take it out on us.
Did you guys read Ultimates 3? Did he do that?
Yeah, he did
Yes.
that with
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's when I realized I hate Jeph Loeb, because fucking Mark Miller's fucking Ultimates, for a while I wasn't into reading books, because once again, when you look at DC, it's too intimidating. There's too much shit. There's too much backstory. You're going to have to read 400 issues to know who the fuck is what. it was a little refreshing to read something like Ultimate Spider-Man being like, yeah, Peter gets bit by a spider. That's the primary basis. Uncle Ben will die, and in it he will understand that with great power comes great responsibility. Mm-hmm. But it was kind of cool to see, like, okay, well, what happens when a teenage Peter has a cell phone that will go off during a fight? An old school 80s hardcore, like, defensive nerd, like we were just talking about, would be like, what the fuck? Peter was a teenager in the 60s. But I think that kind of, like, inspired a whole new generation of kids to become their own angry nerds in their own right. And
that's actually very beautiful and very poignant. But like, without jumping too much off topic, you were talking about how the Ultimate line, which I actually absolutely agree with. When the Ultimate line started, that was awesome. That was awesome for even older fans and even newer fans to be there from the get-go. That's how it started. It started out wonderfully. Everybody got introduced to the mythos. Everybody was on board. By Ultimates 3, which you mentioned, which was by Jeph Loeb, all of a sudden Iron Man had a sex tape out with Black Widow, and Quicksilver wanted to fuck his sister, and Wolverine was everybody's father.
Yeah.
But you know what? And the other thing is, you guys kind of spoiled my Who Doesn't Deserve to Eat tonight. I was gonna choose Jeph Loeb, not because of his shitty writing, but because of his shitty writing on Earth's Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and getting it canceled. So now I'm gonna have to get back on my phone and look at something else to hate. You guys continue.
Yeah,
Okay.
one of the things that slipped by the censors at Warner Brothers was the whole Nazi nipple thing, and the scene of the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Nazi nipple? Oh, did he have a tattoo or some shit?
No.
It's just
covering her titties.
It's this chick who's really, really manly looking, and
Kind of looks like Dolph Lundgren.
I thought it was a chick that had breast implants that Joker just liked having around, because that's like, you know, maybe Frank Miller's version of a different type of Harley Quinn, you know,
or like a new type
Harley
of
Quinn to
woman.
that little man's imagination is a big brute chick with some.
So pretty much she had
boobs.
duct tape swastikas on her boobs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But red
So
duct.
Harley Quinn on some testosterone?
Yeah, pretty much Nazi testosterone.
Nazis, yeah.
That's
Well,
not
that's
very rapeable to me, guys.
So what do you guys think of the cast a part of these two films?
No, I thought we were saying before that just like Peter, Dr. Petey, and I was
Petey.
saying Dr. Petey.
Or you can call me PP if you want to.
All right, DP. All right, Dr. DP. He was talking to me before about how like it was cool that a RoboCop's voice was because it was kind of like it sounded like an older voice, and they used Kevin Conroy, just like you know the animation wouldn't add up to the other.
Like you could hear the exhaustion in his voice because he's like freaking 67 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's an old freaking dude, and he always has sounded old his whole career.
Yeah. So it's a little weird not to hear Mark Hamill do the Joker because I'm just so fucking used to Mark Hamill being the Joker.
Well, he's amazing at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, bats.
Yeah. Joker's back in town. It's about time I gave this city a wedgie again.
Nice.
And also Conan O'Brien has a small spot in these films.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in part 2.
Okay, I haven't seen part 2. I can't wait to see it though, because part 1 was dope.
You're totally right with this whole Bruce Timm thing. It's just like I'm just thinking of all these animated releases that like DC put out, and like when he's behind it, they're all fantastic. I'm thinking of all these fucking
All-Star Superman is kind of shit.
all these animated ones that Marvel put out. It's like fuck every one.
Oh, those were so
Fuck,
shitty.
dude.
Like,
Remember?
Ultimates and
Odds. As a fucking Ultimates fan, didn't it piss the shit out of you how they took everything about the Ultimates cool? They just took everything interesting and made Ultimate Avengers.
Not cool.
Sorry, I'm so fucking frustrated. And
no problem.
And nerd raging.
Let the rage flow, bro.
Say it right. It pissed the shit out of me that they had this great source material. Like the fucking Ultimates is a great book where Captain America is an army grunt and Tony Stark's like a fucking cocky alcoholic. Not just, oh, I'm an alcoholic. He's just like, whatever, guys. Okay, well, let's go blow it up. That's fun. And, Thor is like, a suspected escaped like a nurse that had a nervous breakdown, and the whole Son of Odin thing possibly could just be like all in his mind. Like, that is cool. They did nothing of that in this fucking animated DVD.
Nope.
I was looking so forward to it. And I was just like,
they kept driving the goddamn Thor jokes with like, I'm glad that chick is on our side. It's like, okay, I got it the first 3 times, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, let's move along here.
That's like the only war DC has been winning lately. The animation field, compared
Well,
to films and comics.
Yeah, because Disney's good at fucking making movies about talking fucking rats, but they're fucking shit at representing the X-Men.
I think DC has enough backing now that they could actually start doing like comic book musicals or something.
Yeah.
You know, like
whatever happened to those? Actually, there was a couple that were announced for 2 minutes.
League on show tunes, please. They're gay enough. They have enough capes. That's all I want. I want singing and dancing in the new WB.
Well, there was a
movies.
fucking what the fuck was with that fucking singing, dancing in the Captain America movie? It's like, why is this here?
I like that part.
Why does he fight like 2 battles
It's
in
more
actual
layered.
war scenes, but they spend 5 minutes?
He punched a lookalike of Adolf Hitler 20 or maybe 200 times.
But it's just, when they said they were making a Captain America movie, I said, fuck, I can't wait for them to make Saving Private Ryan, but there's this badass dude in a blue outfit breaking people's noses.
Yeah.
And just none of that.
Did a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the Hydra thing, man. They had lasers, man. Give them a fucking break.
The best part of the Captain America movie is before he even turns, actually. Just when you see like
Steve Rogers.
what a nice guy Steve Rogers is, and when he jumps on the grenade and stuff like that, even though it was fake, it was just just showing like he has more guts than all these big guys. And I'm like, oh, that's Captain America right there. He's a good guy there, Bob. Bob, that's Steve Rogers' kid. Oh, he's a nice kid. He's a little bit on the small side. He's got the asthma. He can't run very fast. But, Bob.
He has such a big
I
heart.
threw a grenade down. He just jumped on top.
Hey, Ryan, man, if you like that aspect of Cap, I would highly recommend the new series from Marvel now, the Rick Remender one.
Okay.
It deals with some funky ass shit, but at the same time, Cap keeps having flashbacks to his childhood about kind of like how he was kind of a righteous kid, like he was the like noble soul midget, and he didn't give a fuck if he lost the girl, he didn't give a fuck if his dad beat him, as long as he protected that geek. And I'm describing it bad, but what you said, all that stuff you said about his credibility and shit, it just reminded me of that. I'd highly recommend it. It's 3 issues so far.
All right.
It's cool. Remender. It's always good.
Dude, I'm telling you, Remender. Look, he started out slow with Uncanny Avengers, but issue 3 just masturbated me, I give it my fappity-fap seal of approval for sure.
Oz, have you ever masturbated a comic book, wrapped it around your
Dude,
dick and
you know what?
Paper cut?
Paper cut.
Minus the sentence that followed that. My first time as a young lad, I disguised it with a comic book. I didn't jack off to a comic book. I disguised it with a comic book. My family knows I love comics, so I was ready with a comic just in case someone came in. But Jean Grey all of a sudden really started to help.
She stroked you the right way.
She looked pretty
With
good.
her mind, yes.
Yeah,
Have you ever been telekinetically jacked off, bro?
No, I have to admit, I've always second turns as Phoenix. I want to get my dick in there.
I don't know, man. She seems
flame
like
on.
she's a pretty dirty whore, because, for a fact it burns when she pees,
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
And also, Wolverine and Cyclops are still trying to tap that ass. And
Even
also
though-
each other at the same time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cyclops never really fucked her. Ever.
What do you mean? He sat in a different room every time?
It's a chamber fucking.
Yeah, it seems like every animation involving Cyclops involves him screaming her name. I just realized, how many times did he ever scream, Jean, in the 90s series?
I'm coming!
Oh,
It
yeah.
used to be a drinking game. Every fucking episode, Jean!
No, it was more like,
Sinister.
oh, I just got off.
That was the cool thing about Ultimate X-Men. It's like Wolverine fucked the shit out of Jean Grey.
By the fucking 3rd issue, dude.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was fucking.
3rd
He was-
issue. It
he
took
was so
25
angry.
years to get a kiss from her in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Ultimate's the 3rd issue. It's like, my boyfriend's a villain, you wanna put it in me?
And he's like,
Like,
of course.
And Cyclops is just like, I'm mad. I'm gonna do more push-ups.
Yeah. He was so horny he turned mean.
Yeah. Join the brother.
Join Magneto.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were saying, man, about the whole saying that it's being pretty much it's pretty much describing racism, but in a comic book form, where it's people are like, we don't want these damn mutants in our mouths.
They need separate bathrooms.
But that's the interesting thing is that Professor X and Charles and Xavier are both for the same cause. They both want mutants to do well, but they go to different extremes, and it's really like comparing Malcolm X to Martin Luther King.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for years, man.
It's totally true though. It's like they both want black equality, but like.
Well, dude, it was 1963. It was right around that era, anyway.
Yep.
Dude, Stan Lee was flipping through the fucking news, and he's like, interesting.
Racism.
I can't exactly make them black,
Racism.
but I'll make them mutant.
Racism.
Yeah, and then Claremont and Burns took those ideas and expanded on them.
Yeah, it's true. Claremont made them cool.
Oh, another series where Wolverine clearly is fucking Jean Grey was Age of Apocalypse. Yeah, because Cyclops literally had one eye.
Yes, and he was on Apocalypse's team.
Yeah, and him and Havoc were wreaking havoc, and Wolverine was, being a Canadian crippler with his claws and his cock.
And one hand.
Yes.
Yeah, and he had a stump. What do you think he did with that stump to Jean, huh?
No. It's like, come on, lick my.
Well, I mean, she did leave by the end of the first issue, so maybe she was a bit sore, you know?
Yeah. She was kind of walking or
It's like, I heard Cyclops is tiny. You know what? I can't damage it anymore. Let's just cut our losses. Plus, Wolverine, I like the sideburns on your face, not so much on your
junk.
Exactly.
Wolverine lost his hand in a tragic She-Hulk fucking incident.
The vagina just ripped it off. Closed down and just.
I'm sure it wasn't China dressing with a She-Hulk.
Oh my god. We're back on the stump clit.
Okay, would you recommend the Batman The Dark Knight Returns to new or old viewers?
Should I watch the second part, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Absolutely. You want to watch?
Yeah.
I have to, man. The first one ended with a Joker. Fuck that.
Okay, do you want to see Batman in kind of like an Iron Man suit?
That makes me curious.
No, only because he has to fucking go take out Clark. If he's going against Clark, I'm not going to give anything away. I'm saying, is it a good fucking watch? Yeah, it's a good fucking watch. And the thing is, I think anyone who just read the book will probably say, but that's with every comic book. If I might have liked Ultimate Avengers if I'd never read the brilliant genius of the actual fucking book. Because I knew there was something better out there, I just couldn't stand it.
Nice. Okay, so that's a definite yes, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now let's get on to some true nerd rage. Let's talk about the WB canceling Young Justice.
Okay, every time a fucking great cartoon comes out, if they can't make an action figure based on something fucking lame they do in every episode, it's like, all right, let's give Robin a jetpack.
I blame Disney.
That's the thing that went wrong with the Batman. It's just when they gave the character Robin a jetpack, I'm like, why are they giving him a fucking jetpack? I'm like, oh yeah, because they want to sell more fucking toys. Same shit happened with He-Man. Remember when they revamped He-Man? They took away his lame ass haircut. They're like, shit, this show's pretty good. Season 2 comes around, they get a bunch of lame ass armor that makes no sense.
My only excuse for that DC kabople is probably that they got A.B. Rad from frickin' Marvel.
Yeah.
And he ruins everything.
Oh my god.
That fucking Argentinian should.
No, you're supposed to save that for Who Shouldn't Eat Tonight.
Fuck, we keep fucking it up. I'm on the damn phone and I'm just like, what the fuck is worthy to not eat?
It's like, I was gonna say that fucker too.
Dude, that fucker was gonna make a love triangle for Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man.
Fireman.
Yeah, no, Spider-Man.
See, this is what happens when you get nerd rage. You start mixing up words and junk.
No, Spider-Man 2 was supposed to be a love triangle between Doc Ock, Mary Jane, and Peter.
That would have been the lamest fucking movie in the world.
Abby Rad, okay? He's such a fucking cunt.
He's like, I wanted it to be a love story between the three of them, but it's a good thing not to listen to me. It's like, yeah, good.
I think
Fuck you.
People should continue not to listen to you, you fucking prick.
So what? You have money and you talk funny. Doesn't mean anything.
That guy invented the foosball table. That's
Oh my god.
That's how he has all his money.
Oh my gosh. Also, I think Dan Slott probably read that script.
He was an executive producer with Stan Lee for the 1992 X-Men TV show that everyone cherishes. And I'm pretty sure all he was there was just to give them money. Because if he had any fucking
He was in the back throwing bills around like P. Diddy and playing foosball. That's all he
Pretty much.
did.
He's probably changed his name as many times as P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Or Diddy. Or Puff Daddy. Whatever's fucking Sean John.
Yeah,
Fuck
whatever.
him.
I don't know, Peter.
Wait, I'm fucking so lost right now, man. Hang on. Let's wind it back a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you my opinion real quick of why I think fucking Young Justice got canceled, okay?
Okay.
Too many black people.
Damn.
Shut the fuck up, you piece
There's
of
a lot of
shit.
black
I can't talk anymore for 2 minutes. Dude, the simple, real reason is I enjoyed it. I liked it. Ben just found out, and he pulled some favors. He's like, dude, get it off the air. Simple. I know it sounds like I'm insane, but it's true.
Listen to my master plan. I want to ruin it.
It's I think the cancel I think it all comes back to the action figure thing. And Green
And what about Wiseman though? I know I've heard that Wiseman has a terrible reputation of like writing shows for like 2 seasons and he gets bored.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't get because Young
Like
Justice
fucking
has
Ricky
been
Gervais.
mind-blowingly amazing.
Yeah.
He's Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, he's Ricky Gervais of animation.
Wow.
But the problem is, like, DC, Time Warner Bros., they fucked the schedule up for Young Justice. They would play, like, the first couple episodes, then they take a break,
Yeah.
then they play, like, the next bunch of episodes, then they take another long break, then they play another bunch of episodes, then they take another long break, and they just kill the show.
And the only way you even like know it's on the air is if you're fucking like hardcore into it and you're looking online for possible links of when it's going to come on again. But if you're just some Joe Schmo saying, "Oh, I like that show," and it's not consistent like that, how the fuck are you going to know when it's on TV? And then dare say, "Oh, we're going to keep it on if it gets enough ratings." It's like The Simpsons have been on at 8 o'clock on Sunday as long as I can remember.
Ryan, it's because they're yellow.
And if they put The Simpsons on a Monday, just like that, and half the people saw it wasn't on Sundays anymore, they're like, "Oh, I think it got canceled." What did you guys think of the old Teen Titans show?
I liked it.
It was okay, but it wasn't my cup of tea.
No, well, I like it. I like it because I didn't see Young Justice, and now that I've seen Young Justice, I can't go back to having sex with She-Hulk.
Like, what I like about Young Justice, even though I've only watched maybe 4 episodes, Black Manta is black.
Would you get off this?
What?
Fuck you.
No, but like
I thought you were saying he's badass, but
no, he is badass. He's totally
fucking
badass. No, oddly enough, I like how they gave him
That's
like
the
this
most
goatee.
That's the most racist name I've ever heard. Why is he called Black Manta? That's so unnecessary.
yeah, there's also Black Lightning.
Oh,
That's
brother.
DC Comics
Actually,
for you.
Blue Lightning.
Yeah,
Blue Lightning. He's Green Thunder.
yeah. That's our porn names.
I thought it was like Red Superman and Blue Superman.
Or Green or Red Hulk.
Well, if I was to compare myself to Superman in a porn sense, I guess I'm faster than a speeding bullet. And that's not a good thing. All right.
Ryan, I think you should get the flux capacitor as a
I am the
timestamp.
man of rubber.
No, okay, do you guys think, like, I know you guys don't know, Pete, Oz, do you
Yeah.
think Ryan should get the flux capacitor as a tramp stamp?
That's genius though.
Because I never go slower than 88 miles per hour.
No, it's because, like, you put the flux capacitor right over his butt crack. It means a lot. It's like Back to the Future.
I was
Your
over
backside.
my toilet hanging a clock when all of a sudden I fell off and got knocked unconscious. When I woke up, I had this flux capacitor tramp stamp on my back.
What do you guys think? You think I got
Do we think it's a good idea that you want to tattoo that above your ass crack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What do you think, man? That sounds genius.
I mean,
Go for it.
Do it!
Okay, so you guys are for Ryan getting a tramp stamp of a flux capacitor.
I would get the Batman logo before that.
Dude, it's the flux capacitor.
Because then I could literally say that my ass is the Batcave.
Oh, dude. I think you're gonna be calling your fucking ass the Dark Knight.
No, that's in the front. That's in the front.
Dude, why can't you do a Batman logo and then put black ass underneath it?
I'll put the I'll write the Batman and Robin like the Joel Schumacher movie.
Oh, yeah?
Underneath my butt, so I could literally take a shit on it every morning.
Okay. So
I should put that on the bottom of my toilet.
Oh, Jesus.
I could piss and shit on it like 5 times a day. Oh man.
That's great.
As my buddy tried to say earlier, Oz Jr. or whatever, they're trying to bump the new Titans show. You can't have 2 Titans shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. And plus, I mean, kids are always the better demographic. Like, Young Justice is kind of like way too smart for children. Like, it's really entertaining, yes, but there's a lot. I would guess that there's a lot of talky part. Add that with the action figure bullshit.
Yeah.
Sealed deal.
But
man.
Oz, for the 21st century, comic books have been really announced, and TV shows, like animated TV shows. Just look at, Dark Knight Returns.
Like
the
you're saying,
21st century is all about.
They've been very present.
Well, it's a bit, yeah.
Yeah,
but,
since the 90s, definitely.
But like, it's just because I think comic books are more geared for adults now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just read, like, Batman Earth 1. Like, I mean,
But
dude,
I know that people are very much aware of them, but it's like numbers talk. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want these Young Justice. If this was like making, I don't know, money like a box office hit would in the movies, you know, there's gonna be like 19 seasons of that shit, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it gets to at the end. What makes us the most money?
Yeah.
Simple
Well,
as that. Fuck. It
well,
sucks.
and also,
I don't know. Did you guys actually watch Young Justice? Like, did you check out any of the seasons?
Dude,
I watched 4
I
episodes.
watched that show so religiously that I'm counting down until I can watch it tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Fuck yes, man. It's like my favorite shows right now are that and Adventure Time, both by Cartoon Network. They've been slaying it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right in the sense that it was just like Teen Titans, I guess, would reach out to a non-comic book. Like, when you watch Young Justice, you're like, oh man, it's that character. And it's like, yeah, from that issue. When someone,
they were actually very loyal to the DC continuity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then when someone who isn't familiar with that, they're like, "Oh my God, it's a Green Beetle," and everyone's like, "Well, what the fuck's a Green Beetle?"
It's the racist beetle.
Yeah.
It's the one that's dying. It's the one that's sick.
It's either really rich or really jealous.
Yeah, with envy.
I'm the Green Beetle. Oh, you have a car?
No. It's like, I'm the Shamrock Beetle. I'm fucking.
He's the Irish
Night
Beetle.
I'm a Mick. I'm the place that like someone put a dump on.
And he speaks in a really badly imitated Boondock Saints accent.
Oh my God.
Slightly oriental.
See, actually, the best role
Slightly
Norman Pete's
oriental to
produced.
anybody. Like the way he's like all proper. He's like, oh, monsters, I think your problem. And he's like so wise, like a fortune cookie. I don't know. He's giving everybody advice on the show. Everybody he meets is like, hello, you have a deeply rooted psychological problem. Come, let's take a walk. And he fixes them.
That's very
What is
cool.
it? Touched by an angel or some shit?
What?
Dr.
Oh shit, he's pulling some touched by an angel shit on them.
Oh yeah.
He's Dr. Phil. That's what he is.
You gotta change your life.
I'm from Mars.
My grandpa used to be, if you can't fuck a grape, take him down to the river and wash it.
I remember the other day when I was fucking She-Hulk and I came to a realization.
Oh,
This is
why every time?
If you can't fuck a grape, you squash it into a raisin and see what happens.
So you guys like to add anything else to the Young Justice cancellation before we go on to?
I'm just as livid as when they canceled the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Also by Greg Weisman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about Wolverine and the X-Men? Was that him?
Wolverine the X-Men? Dude, if you guys could find it, Wolverine the X-Men, they have this metal cased edition that has all the episodes in.
Yeah,
Was that the Blu-ray?
$10. Go to Giant Tiger
What?
in Ontario.
What the
Someone say $10?
Okay, what the fuck? This is okay.
Volumes.
Wait,
Volumes
fuck
of
this.
shit.
I don't have a name for I don't have the name for the people, so I'm just gonna blame a corp. I'm just gonna blame a corporation.
Oh, they're gonna blame God.
Just let me know when I can say who can't eat tonight because I got so much anger and I really want to.
Okay, so let's just go on.
Alright, fuck it. Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. Who does not deserve to eat
By
tonight?
request.
I like to start things off. For my Who Does Not Deserve to Eat Tonight, I have to go with DC Comics for canceling I, Vampire. One of the biggest surprises of the DC New 52. The first volume appeared at number 4 in the New York Times best-selling list for graphic novels, which is
Of what? The month? The week? The year?
of the week. It had a
Okay.
strong fan base, and people were buying the trade than the single issues.
Huh.
And it's kind of like a Vertigo book, where like people would buy the trades in the single issues.
Well, it's part of the Dark Line, dude.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are
part
all
of the
like
Dark Line, but it
super
sold a
fucks.
lot of copies, the trades.
Mhm.
I pretty much bought like a couple of copies of I, Vampire for my friends for Christmas. And because of this book selling so well in graphic novels and doing okay in comic sales, they decided to cancel the book. But yet, Savage Hawkman still lives on. So DC, you don't deserve tea tonight.
Nice.
I'm with you.
Praise the Lord.
Let's go around the table. Ryan, Jay, anyone want to go first?
Jennifer Gardner does not deserve to eat because of freaking Elektra. Hate that bitch.
Nice.
Really? You're gonna use all your hate for that chick? What about Abby Rat?
No, I hate fucker, but I still hate her.
Only hate fucking allowed, bitch.
Oh no, I'm just gonna go with whoever at Disney said, let's not sell fucking full seasons of shows anymore, and let's sell fucking overpriced bullshit volumes of 4 episodes of fucking Pop in a world where everyone is downloading. What the fuck?
Yes, they've done that for a lot of shows.
They did that for Wolverine, the X-Men. They did that for the Spectacular Spider-Man. All this fucking like volume bullshit. It's just like when you want to buy a season, you want every fucking episode. Why the fuck are you trying to squeeze blood from a stone? Like, people don't have all the money in the world, man. And like, it's to have the audacity to sell 4 fucking episodes for a $15 DVD. That is, I don't know. That's
It's
just
sacrilege. It's not right.
Sacrilegious.
Just because Ryan just said that, I'm going to dry hump him later. It's going to be completely straight.
If it's volumes because they don't like, let's say with a show like
Quicksilver.
with with Darkwing Duck or something like that, where there's like 50 episodes in the first season and then like 10 the second or third, that's understandable. Where you got to break it up in volumes because you can't have seasons 1, part 2, and part 1, 2, and 3, and then season 2 and season 3. That makes no sense. But just the whole volume for 4 episodes apiece, it just seems like a really cheap on their part. A lack of respect for the consumer.
Well said, sir. Well said.
And for you, Oz?
You know what, man? I'm gonna fucking keep it simple. I'm gonna stick with my original choice. Jeph Loeb, I hope you do. I'm sorry about your kid and shit, but man, like, you're writing shitty comics, and I care about comics a lot. So you're fucking him up. Stop fucking him up. Earth's Mightiest Heroes was a dope ass show, just like Young Justice, and you made it fall with your bullshit because he wanted to like change the whole. Anyway, fuck you, Jeph Loeb. Fuck you. Do not eat.
So that's going to be another episode done for Comic Book Nerds, our hot podcast.
Oddly enough, I think I had a great time. And I don't speak for Ryan because Ryan can speak for himself.
I can speak it through.
Oh, you pasty fuck.
Yeah.
But like, I had a great time with you guys, talking to a laptop that's open and a green light shining on me.
Yeah, it's like talking to...
I hear what you're saying, man. I hear what you're saying. Next time, let's get some fucking brews.
Yeah.
And let's fucking look
Lube.
at some comics. Let's get properly pissed off.
Yeah.
Chew that shit out and then spit out all the fucking...
No jerking off for a week, guys. No jerking off for a week.
Wait, no jacking off for a week?
Yeah. So we'll be really pissed off.
Shit. But, dude, I already haven't jacked off for like a day.
Yeah.
By that, I mean like an hour.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Okay, it's a deal. It's a deal. We'll be extra angry.
Anyone who listen to this, you want to watch our bullshit, it's youtube.com/season0. And hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/season0. And we need some fucking likes, man. Honestly, we don't really
Dude, these guys are so fucking funny. I don't know. You gotta promote yourself, dude. That's what you gotta do. Honestly, like, you'll have gold, but nobody will know it's there. You have to fucking go, like, just shit that on everything, man. I'm telling you, like, any, like, example, you'll do an episode, any subject that you might have had in that episode, jump on that fucking message board. Jump on that .com. Jump on the Facebook fucking like page.
The thing that I can, the thing without the massive amount of likes, the thing that keeps me, helps me go to bed and then keep making a show. Well, geez, man, like when you look at a band like AFI or something, like who were so cool when they're on an independent label and made all the best music, and the second they got on a major label, their music went to crap, and all of a sudden they got sold in Walmart, and everyone you want to punch in the face starts liking them, and pretty much just ruin the band. If that means that we're making the best shit now because no one likes us, then I want to keep making good shit.
The second we get paid, it's going to go to shit.
Yeah.
That's from the heart, folks. Seriously, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. Every time I watch them shits, I laugh my ass off. You two guys are funny, fuck. Y'all are energetic as fuck too, man.
Thanks, buddy. The second we make money making an episode called Jesus Jedi versus Darth Hitler, I think that's when it's all gonna go to hell. So
That sounds awesome. And if you could save me a cameo, I can like walk in the background, like sell candy to children, whatever you need, man.
dude, we put you guys in Magneto's Magical Christmas upon meeting you for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Remember that?
We're in the episode.
That was awesome.
And like, hey guys, want to be? It's like, oh man, I don't know. I'm like, oh, I know you from online. Hey, want to be in the show? Here, just stand here and say something, and he's gonna come by, and Quicksilver's gonna make a really heartfelt comment about wanting to fuck the shit out of his sister.
By the way, dude, you were amazing as Magneto.
Oh, thank you.
You fucking played that like self-dignified shit amazingly, man. I'm like, that is fucking Magneto talking to his kids. I felt like I was reading a like bizarre version of an X-Men comic.
Oh, nice.
Well, usually, like, Magneto is portrayed as always having this kind of dark, brooding, borderline British-like voice. And I was just like, no, Magneto in this should just be like a regular dad talking to his kids. Like, all right, guys, we're going to learn the true meaning of Christmas. Instead of, it wouldn't work if I was like, all right, children, we're going to learn the true meaning of Christmas, then crush Baldy and his X-Men. Just wouldn't work as well. I don't know, man. Whatever. We're retarded. Thanks, guys, for having us.
That's pretty cool. And Oz, take us out with this episode.
Alright, guys, thanks for joining us again. Fucking season 0. Don't forget that shit. And these guys are going to be back, so get used to that too.
Yes.
And finally, give money to sandwiches, give money to beer, give money to certain narcotics. Don't get too fucked up, but just do not give money to Bendis.
And Green Lantern nerds, please get laid.
And you give hobos money, and then you can punch them in the face.